Well, hello there, steppers. I know that you thought you would never see me follow through on this, but it is the first day of March, and I appreciate those of you that participated in the February trial to help me figure out what had to happen. Well, from that first post, you didn't hear from me, but I think my wife was very representative of what many of you were thinking. She said, if you don't figure out a way to keep from people having to go so many clicks, that's not going to work. She's assuming that everybody's like her and computers are made to make life simple, not more complicated. So she's right about that. And I don't want something like logistics to stop us from doing this. I think it's a good thing. And it's more the kind of thing that we're going to hope to be seeing at Mount Moriah. And hopefully, I'm not going to be the only one doing it. So anyway, I just want to kind of make it clear, and this is not just for our church family. You can share. We're past the testing stage. You can share, or maybe you want to wait a couple of weeks to make sure we got more things fixed, enough things fixed. But you can share this with whoever you think might have interest in it. It's all about carrying the things that we hear in sermons to the next step, to where it's not just in our thoughts for a few moments, but it actually gets down into our feet so that we walk differently. Okay, so here's the 4 things that I'm asking you to do, and I've stated them. As you can see clearly, the first step is about the principle. So get a good understanding of the principle. For example, our principle for this week and the next step in personal holiness is, it says, personal holiness is the result of a pursuit. No one will accidentally become holy or become infected with it like a virus. It is the result of a pursuit. And so the first step that I want you to consider is going to be to get that in your mind, to understand what it is and how you accomplish it. It won't be casually, has to become something that you really becomes a desire in you. And even that, if you say, well, it's not a desire in me, then maybe that's the first step for you, to ask God to help it become a desire to be like his son. So the first step that you have, and that's how short and simple basically these things are going to be. Very basic and to the point, so that you can meditate on it and think on it, and chew on it like a cow does cud. That's what the word word for cud, meditation, means in the scriptures. So the second step is the cognitive commitment. That is, once you've got the principle, it says a holy life is God's expectation for every believer's life. Meditate on it. Once you understand it, you're going to meditate on it. You're going to think on it until you get anxious about putting it into action. And the third step is very, very personal, keeping it personal. You say, well, how's it going to be personal if I'm doing it with a group of other people? Because this step is about asking you as a participant in this next step, ministry, that's what it is. It's about not looking at somebody else and seeing how they need to do or what they need to do. It's just between you and God. And it's a struggle. The struggle won't be with God. The struggle will be with you. Because, we don't know hearts. God knows hearts, and you know your heart. And so only you know where the application for this will be. So you want to keep it personal. You want to keep thinking about it, not just what the concept is, but how that concept applies to you and certain things that you may or may not be doing now. Remember, sin is both ways. And this is largely dealing with sin, but not only. It's not only. And you remember, sin is omission and commission. Just remember that. But it couldn't not only be that. It could just be other things that God only knows and reveals to you. Something that you're struggling with is not a sin. You're just struggling with it, trying to make a decision or whatnot. But keep it personal. We want to, and the fourth step is that hopefully you're going to be employing these steps all between now and Wednesday. As you see in the instructions, it says that I will be posted on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. That leaves you part of Sunday, Monday, part of Tuesday and Wednesday, part of Friday and Saturday to respond. And the responses shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes. The meditation should. The other steps should and may, because this stuff will get in your mind and God will use it to change us. But the active parts of your, looking at something, reading something, 15 minutes is about all this commitment's gonna take you. But it could affect your life in radical ways. And if I didn't believe that, I would not dare ask you to be a participant in it. And I'm doing it too. So the share part is where I believe is the most fruitful part. I believe there's safety in a multitude of counselors. And when you share your thoughts and ideas and you interact with one another, you're doing what we talked about last week. How we talked about the fact that we are community. Even though our walk with God is somewhat personal, we do that personal walk in a context of plurality. And so get close to people. You don't mean like go over for dinner every day. But it means to have intimacy with the body like siblings. I got siblings and most of them live within driving. All of them live within driving distance of me. I can go see them any day I want to, but I don't. But when I do, I'm welcome. But I don't do that because they have lives, I have lives, and you will. Your friends will. And your siblings do. But you know that if you need them, they're going to be there. So that's what I want you to do. Just take a few minutes and type out. You don't have to do a paragraph. If you get carried away, I'll read it. I sure will. And I'm sure that I'll be blessed from it. But sometimes a couple of sentences, 2 to 4 sentences will be plenty. So I want you to do this. And I want you to do it not only for you, but for the other people who are committed to take the next step.